Howdy and aloha, everyone. It's James with Monotalk. It is September the 27th of 2024, and this is my ongoing documentary of just how crazy the planet has become. I'm not talking about it physically, I'm talking about world leaders, celebrities, etc. Just fucking craziness out there, especially started early or very late 2019, 2020. That's when shit started to really hit the fan. And it's got severely worse. I think we do have a tyrannical authoritarian system building quickly. Orwell is probably just doing somersaults in his grave. 1984. And it's just, it's a shame that a lot of people just don't see it. And I mean, if you're watching mainstream media, or CNN or CNBC or Fox, even Fox, PBS, Al Jazeera, BBC, ABC, CBS, blah 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 blah, anything from the five or six companies that own mainstream media, you're just going to see what the oligarchs, the global pedo predator class wants you to see. Wants you to believe, wants you to feel, wants you to trust, etc., etc. They're in full mind control, and it's a shame. There's just so many people out there that just, I mean, you can't walk up and slap and go, snap out of it. As a message you'd like to, you have to let people, get up for themselves. They have to wake up at some point, and because they can't sleep forever. If they are, then they're not here. And basically, some are, in a sense, not here. After taking that thing in their arm 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, some of them aren't here anymore. And some of them won't be here because of that, too. And I've gone through all that, fluvid 19 and all the freaking things they took in their arms and all that, and the mRNA, Mary Roger Nancy Alpha, that they have in there and what it's done. Like I said, this is my 6th YouTube channel. I have been, censored. My First Amendment rights have been violated continuously. We're talking on a lot of social media and Twitter, until Elon took a hold of it. Facebook hasn't really done anything recently, and I'm beginning to think that Zuckerberg's just saying, "Hey, you know what? Just let them fucking duke it out. If they do anything violent, threaten violence or anything like that, then yeah, take them up. But let them fucking talk." And that's basically what's happening. Is we're letting people talk. There's a lot of people right now that I can't afford to waste my time on. I've got a lot of things going on in my life, like we all do. If I'm on Facebook and I see something, I might chime in and say, you know what, you're being played. You're being fooled. You're being bamboozled. You're being marketed to, and the marketing and the advertising, the branding and the public relations is really working well on you. And I've gone over that and how that works and how strong marketing is. We are the greatest consumers on the planet. The United States of American consumer buys all kinds of shit. I mean, I look around in here, I'm like, why the fuck do I have that there? Why do I need that? Why do I need that? I mean, there's a store down the street where there's a bunch of antiques and shit, and there's always people in there buying more stuff. I'm like, why? Just go outside, play around, do whatever you can when you can to get outside. I like to sit outside a lot. I like to look up at the stars. I like to look at the sky. I like to look at the trees, the birds, the ground, the bugs. It just doesn't matter. Be really a part of the world that we've kind of pushed ourselves away from and gotten snuggled up, with this box of lights behind us and the one that we hold in our hands. But that's a lot. It has a lot to do with where these people are. The meek, malleable, obedient, and extremely compliant are out there. There's nothing you can do at this point. If they don't get it by now, they're not. There's nothing you can do. You're not going to say anything or do anything or tell them anything. So with that being said, it's just, let's just say, Trump already has 85 to 90,000 committed voters, base voters, just ready to go. I would be very surprised if the actual numbers came out and how many people actually voted for Kamala or Pedo Joe or whoever they want to put out, whatever puppet they want to use. Maybe 40,000. Realistically. I just don't see the numbers of people that have came out in support. And a lot of people that, on Facebook I look and Twitter I look, and then there's a lot of, there's some old bots in a sense that have been around for a long time. Your base Democrats that no matter blue, no matter who, was just, just think about that. It's just fucking stupid. It's just, how about red no matter who? That's not the case with Trump. Trump, he's the maverick. If there ever was a maverick, he's the maverick. And he did something today. Okay, and basically, the title of the show is "Will We Have a Country Left in 2025?" Well, it's up to Trump to make sure that this election is as regulated and as transparent and as fair as possible. That's the only way he's going to win. Like I said, they're going to come out either early or at some point. They probably will call it for her. And then there's probably going to be a lawsuit that's going to be chaotic. And they're already saying, don't expect any results on election day. And you're like, what? Right? We have voting machines, right? We have ballots. So let me tell you what I think Florida's doing. It's either a few red states out there, like ours, I think is in a sense in Missouri. All stuff will be counted before like 11 o'clock at night. Everything. The millions of people, everything will be done. Lots of states will have everything done and ready, counted totally. Not the smallest county or to the smallest city will be finished. But for some reason, some of the blue states and most of the blue states and some of the red swing states will have a problem counting votes. I'm telling you. Remember I said that. And then the goal is to prolong it. So in the last 2020 election, what they did is they used this thing called Fluvid-19 to push, and I have a full few videos in regards to how that worked for them. They were able to push the times of the counting, the times of the gathering, the times of having the ability to manipulate physical paper and mechanisms to swing it towards a certain person. It was brilliant. And that's part of the COVID stone that I do. Just look in Odyssey. You can just go to the link at the bottom or down in the notes, show notes, or whatever they call it. And there's a link that goes to the COVID stone on how they did that. And then there's some other information in some of my videos on I went through Ballotpedia, which I recommend that you go to, and you can see how certain states changed certain procedural procedural rules and laws and procedures, right? To give that ability to happen, right? You couldn't do it because there was a flu-19 around, but it really helped that system. They don't have that convenience this time. They tried with all these other new monkey pox and all this other Omicron and all this other crap. Just people aren't buying it. There's people I see right now. It was weird. Like today, I saw a lady at the grocery store. Was it today or yesterday? Anyway, today. I think it was yesterday. And she's in Walmart doing her thing, and then she gets out of Walmart and she takes off her mask. I'm just like, I don't know, man. You know that person is a Rachel Maddow fan. You just know it. You know that person is full on Rachel Maddow, Kamala, Tampon Tim, the whole 9 yards, right? Supposedly black Kamala and Tampon Tim. That whole fucking thing is a joke. Not a single person at the primary voted for this person. She was the worst candidate they ever had on the ticket during the Democratic debates in 2020, and it's just sad. And now it's like, yeah, this is the one. I don't believe it, because North Carolina, they had maybe 100 people at this rally. They were trying to get over 100. They couldn't. Every Trump rally that Trump's ever had, I don't think he's had less than 5,000 people or 3,000 people or, less. I think everything's been, double-digit thousands, like 10, 12, 15, 20,000 people. And I showed you what they've been doing. I mean, Trump's had at least 20 rallies and including town halls and stuff like that. Walton Gates have maybe had 3. J.D. Vance he's on his 60th or 70th or something like that. I mean, the guy's just been all over the country. Taking questions, interviews, the things that actual candidates do. It's just so pathetic. I've never seen the most pathetic people in my life. Pathetic. I mean, we're talking... If I were to go up and just ask Kamala a question, the question I would ask would be the one that always stumps her. So you have been, and your boss has said, when it comes to policy and stuff, I delegated that to, when it comes to policy, foreign and domestic, I delegated it to Kamala. He said that on The View, 2 days ago. And then the question is, so he delegated it to you, so you're saying you want to do all these things now, which, you stole the tips for no tax on tips and a few other things that you stole from Trump. But you haven't done it since you've been in office. What happened? What stopped you? Why didn't you do the things that you're promising now when you've been in office and had the power, because it was delegated to you, and you had the influence because you're the vice president. You can always get in the president's ear or talk to legislators. Or in my time, I've seen vice presidents talk to Congress. These people have never talked to Congress. Never, ever talked to Congress. I've never seen Joe Biden or Kamala Harris go near Congress. Isn't that crazy? People don't even notice that. That's huge. I mean, there's so many, warning signal, not even just red flags. We're talking flares. With the flare floating down on a fucking little umbrella. That's how bad it is. And for some reason, these people just don't see this. It's so blatant. It's so in your face. And they're just okay with it. It's okay. It's all good. They don't campaign, or they don't campaign at all, but, they weren't never really voted on, and, they haven't really done anything, and they won't do anything. They haven't done anything that they said they are going to do in the future, but they couldn't have done it before. I mean, just plain common sense questions, right? Come on, why aren't you doing all the stuff you're promising now back then? And she nobody's asked that question. She can't take. I mean, she won't even do a real interview. And the last one with ABC, the debate. Oh, that's moving. By the way, that's getting hairy. The whistleblower signed a legal affidavit, put himself in contempt of court, which is either a serious fine or jail. Could be serious time in jail, but that hasn't stopped. That hasn't stopped. And everybody's just, whatever it is, just hate Trump, and I'm getting that from fucking people that are going third party, Jill Stein or whatever, and again, people that don't want to vote anymore. They think Trump's totally compromised. Well, something happened today that kind of jolted me, and I'm going to bring this up right here. And what kind of jolted me is right here. See this little part? Well, you can see it. I'll make it bigger. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm not even going to play it. I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. So Trump met with Zelensky. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh, great. Oh, great. Fucking Trump doing the fucking Ukraine shit. But this was at the request of Zelensky. He asked to speak to Trump. Trump didn't reach out to Zelensky. You think Trump's going to go, hey, bro, I need to talk to you, man? That's what people don't understand here. So this is what's happening. And I'm going to tell you what I believe is happening. Because this has happened several times in our country. And let me just jump over to here real quick, and I can kind of show you. I'm going to show you. Here, let's get out of here. Oh, no. My computer, don't start freaking out on me, computer. It starts winding up. It's like, oh, what's it doing now? Fuck. Come on. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, OBS takes a lot of work. Let me just refresh it and see what it does. Oh, there, that fixed it. So what I said, right? In regards to the meeting, oh, this is a good one. I like this right here. I like this one right here. It's one of my faves. Why is this so high? Anyway. I think there's if you've seen the movie, it's with Tom Hanks and the girl from Forrest Gump. She's in it fucking again. But it's the fuck I just had it in my head. Not Saving Private Ryan. It's Charlie Wilson's War, right? Charlie Wilson's War. Okay, there you go. Now, Charlie Wilson's War is about Osama bin Laden. And back in the day, Osama bin Laden was a hero. Most of you probably never knew that, right? Osama bin Laden was a hero because we made him a hero. The Russians were Pakistan or some country out there like that. We were going after. Well, it's got to be here. Yeah. Charlie Wilson was a senator. I like this is one of my favorites right here, by the way. That's one of my faves. He had an image of being a floozy, or not a floozy, just a misogynist. And he had hot chicks working for him, which he did. Who's the girl that played in the new Superman movies? Plays Lois Lane, the redhead. Anyway, she was in that too, in the same movie. Did a good job. But what I stated is Osama bin Laden and also Saddam Hussein, which was a friend of ours. We used to hang out with Saddam Hussein all the time back in the day, but the Charlie Wilson's War movie was, and I'll try to wrap it up in a nutshell here, was about they were having problems with the Russians and they needed surface-to-air missiles against their helicopters, and they really were trying to protect themselves. So Charlie Wilson made this big stink about Russia, and then he got a bunch of funding. And the funding was to make sure that Osama bin Laden would get these missiles and all this funding so they could fight away the bad Russians, right? So he was able to do that, and then he really looked good in front of everybody. Charlie Wilson did, and was reelected. And then as soon as he was reelected, they cut the funding. They left Osama bin Laden and his people on horseback, basically, in the dirt. They basically just said, you know what, we're done with you, we don't need you anymore, see you later, goodbye. And that's what it was. The same situation kind of happened with Saddam Hussein. And then he became the enemy because he knew he was being scammed. Because Kuwait, under our instruction, was, here's a good perspective right here. Under our instruction, basically forced to drill underneath Osama bin Laden, Iraq, diagonally and horizontally, which means going down and under and stealing oil. And then Osama bin Laden said, if you're going to do that, we're going to fuck you up. We had a treaty, man. We had a deal, bro. And we said, and then the United States said, fuck him, take it. We're going to take it. Just fuck it. I'm giving you a summary of the article that I read in Newsweek, basically when I got out of the Navy, because I was in Desert Storm. I was basically doing flight ups at the time out by Hawaii, while I think the Lincoln or some other aircraft carriers were. Hey, brother, how you doing, man? Oh, by the way, happy birthday recently. they were, and that was a 90-day war. I mean, we were cheering on because you could see they were showing us certain clips of news in the monitors, and we were watching. I was, doing our stuff. I mean, when you're in the military, you're all just one big unit, and you're training to go to war. You're training to be prepared for war. You're training. But we were hearing the news, and we were just pretty much annihilating fucking Saddam Hussein. It was like these people were. We were watching them. I remember the images of them just coming up to soldiers and just laying on their knees on the ground saying, please stop, we surrender. Because there were a few that were resistant, but they knew they couldn't keep up with our forces because we had, in a ground war campaign, you can't fucking beat us. I mean, if you're Russia, you're going to have a good time. If you're China, you're definitely going to have a good time. But any other country out there is going to have a fucking hard-ass time against us. And they did. And it was quick. But what happened was all of a sudden, Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein is a bad guy. And that went on for a while. And then they finally caught him and they found him in a hole and they fucking hung him or whatever the fuck they did. But he was used too. He was also used too. And I want you to look all this up. If you think I'm bullshitting, I'm just telling you what's going on. So let's get to this right here. No, not that one. I'm going to show you. What am I going to show you? Oh, back here. Sorry. I'm going to just show you what this is about. Because Vladimir Zelensky, who is a puppet, but this time he was placed as a puppet. He wasn't what everybody voted for. He wasn't the leader of the country. He was a coup installed by us. And if you think I'm wrong on that, then just look in 2014-15, up until 17, 18, and all of a sudden, most recently, Ukraine became really the good guys, what they want. We hated Ukraine. Everybody hated Ukraine. They were known as like part of the Third Reich. They were totally Nazi lovers. That's all they did was just flash around Hitler's swastikas, and that's just the way they were. And they still are, but they don't show that anymore. So what Zelensky is, he's just an actor. He's a fucking dancer. He's a dancer. He's a fucking dancer. He was on the fucking like Ukraine American Idol, for God's sakes, right? He's just a fruit ball, right? He's put in there to just to be the puppet, and he was able to get this exposure. Now, my belief and my hope is that at this point, Zelensky is, and I think maybe you know where I'm going with this, but I think he's saying, dude, I don't want to end up like Osama bin Laden or fucking Saddam Hussein. I don't, because this isn't going to end well for me. And me and Montauk, myself, I've brought this to people's attention a long time ago. I said this when this first started happening. I said, this guy's going to end up like Osama bin Laden and fucking Saddam Hussein and all these people that we've used in the past. He's just going to be another fucking tool, and when they're done with him, they're going to get rid of him. He's actually asking, in a sense, for sanctuary from Trump. That's my opinion. And I think, he's going to say, I want to, defend Ukraine, but he can't appear as the weak fuck. But he can say, if you can get me out of this, I'll help you. I will help you take down the Democratic Party. I will help you take down all the fuckers that made me or wanted me or put me through all this, because he's fearing for his life. I guarantee every day that guy fears for life. Everything he does isn't him. But I think in this particular situation, he wanted to meet with Trump. This is just my perspective. because I don't think he wants to end up like Osama bin Laden, who actually was, his body was shoved off the side of the ship that I was on, the Carl Vinson, which is really kind of strange. We didn't bring him back for DNA or testing. They just did the ritual and shoved him off the boat, which is a little suspicious in my opinion. What I'm thinking is maybe they would have seen something like he had some dental work done, maybe by an American practitioner. Who knows? I don't fucking know. All I'm is in regards to that. I'm just kind of speculating on that one for sure. But on this one, I've just got a feeling that Zelensky really is. He's betraying the Democratic Party. For him to meet with Trump, that's like treason to the Democratic Party. That's like fucking, because that fucking Netanyahu did, right? But in this particular situation, and I'm just being positive for Trump on this, and other people are going to say, oh, yeah, Trump's just going to go fucking full on Ukraine. But Trump comes out and they have this saying, and Trump goes, I want the killing to stop. He keeps saying it. He wants to end it. And if he needs to make some type of negotiation or something, because he likes the deal, right? I've never read the book. I should read the book, which is probably, I've read a lot of fucking marketing sales books in my time and been through a lot of courses and classes, etc. But I mean, it's the art of the deal. He wrote the book, right? Donald Trump. So he wants to, when you're super powerful rich and you make a deal, it's like better than the money, because you've already got the yacht, you've already got the nice cars, you've already got the hot smoking wife, you've already got fucking kids are going to college, you've already got everything that you need, right? Maybe it's your third or second wife or fifth wife or who knows. But the thing is in this particular case, Trump doesn't need Zelensky. He doesn't need him. So Zelensky is kind of going against the grain by meeting with Donald Trump. And it's kind of like if all of a sudden out of nowhere, Osama bin Laden, Barack Obama, that's kind of extreme, wanted to talk to Trump. I think there's just a lot of people out there that really got Epsteined, and Epstein means that you were compromised. They took you to the island, they took you to the hotel, and it's not just an island, by the way. They had hotels, they had resorts, they had houses, they had giant homes, they had P. Diddy parties, they had all kinds of shit, right? Where they were able to frame politicians and celebrities and put them in compromising positions, usually with underage people, girl and boy. And now they have him in their thumbs. But in regards to Zelensky, he's really fearing for his life, and he's concerned about his what he has. He wants to keep what he has. He doesn't want to die, right? And he's probably thinking to himself, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. I really don't want to do this anymore. So he might be able to, he might find a way out, but at the same time, Trump's going to say, you got to give me something, bro. You want to fucking get out of this shit, I'll get you out of this. Right? I'll find a way to get you and your country out of this, because you're never going to win. And if there's a fucking single person that believes, and this is mind-boggling, because if anybody that I know comes to me and says, oh, we can beat Russia. Yeah, I think we could beat Russia, and there'd be an all-out fucking nuclear war. That's how that would end. But if you're a country as small and as tiny, and with like fucking like a Nerf gun compared to a fucking Diamondback 308 AR-10, right? That's the difference. That's There's just no way that Ukraine was going to ever fucking win this. There's no way. It's like saying a grain of sand is able to move the earth, which I don't know, that, in some fucking other dimension that could be possible, but not here, right? Maybe a grain of sand moving at like a bazillion times the speed of light, that could happen, anyway. You understand my point. He knows that. We people that have common sense, or just, know that a rock is hard and water is wet. And a man has a dick and balls, and a fucking girl has a vagina. Period. That's it. There isn't 1,000 genders. There isn't 20 genders. Okay? You can be gay. You can be trans. You can be a fluffy, or what do they call them, furry. Whatever you want to do. Do your fucking thing. But bottom line, this guy was saying, I can't fucking win this. I'm in a bad place. They're about to end me. What can you do? Can you help? It's almost... I think he's trying to... Now, this is just me being positive for Trump. And it would be sad. And here we go. But I think the guy... Okay, let me go back a little bit. I'm going a little ahead of myself. It would be very telling if I'm correct, as I've been correct for a while in regards to the stuff that I've predicted or theorized or claimed, or the possibilities, etc. on Monotalk. If you watch Monotalk, if you've watched me, power talking, Mana means power, spiritual power. Talking, that's what it means. You would clearly know that a lot of stuff that I've brought forward, and I'm not Alex Jones, because the guy has brought some really good stuff out there. But I've also, but I don't talk about lizard people. I don't talk about flat Earth. The moon is still a little skeptical to me, and a few other things that are pretty much in your face that just kind of don't make sense, right? But this is a move by Zelensky, either saying, hey man, I don't want to be like Osama bin Laden. I don't want to be like Saddam Hussein. I don't want to end up that way. I need you to get me out of this. And you can make the deal. Because he can make the deal. Trump can fucking make the deal. That's what Trump does. He's the fucking deal maker, man. His country has gone through hell. It's gone through hell. See right here. His country has gone through hell. Let's play a little bit of it. It's going to be a commercial. Oh, God, these fucking electric cars are just making me sick to my fucking stomach. All right, here it is. He's kind of kissing ass, I want to see this. I don't even know if that's him, but let's see what he says. I want to see what he says.
He was a piece of steel. He gave a very honest, straight answer, and that it really essentially ended the impeachment hoax. And I appreciated that. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Brett.
Quickly, very well, to be honest with you. He was like a piece of steel.
All right. He's just standing there going, man, that's what I think's happening. That's my synopsis. That's my summary. That's my theory. That's my freedom of fucking speech to have a goddamn thought. Google, YouTube. It's called the First Amendment. Okay? But that was pretty huge. And a lot of people saying all kinds of stuff about it, but, and I'm hoping that's the case. Now, if all of a sudden Trump goes, well, we need to start helping him, like, with more money, etc., like fucking Mike Johnson, the asshole, does, the House Speaker Mike Johnson and McCarthy did. Kevin McCarthy, the House Speaker, did. These fucking total tools of the money laundering. But this guy's like, it's not about the money anymore. If he's trying to get more money, if he's going to keep trying to get money from Trump, then Trump's going to go nuts. Because he wants the killing to stop, and he said it. He's blatantly fucking said, I want the killing to fucking stop. In regards to this meeting as well. Yeah. I think Zelensky's in a really bad place, and he doesn't want to be there. And there's a lot of people, I believe, that are on a really bad place. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in this place that the Demoncrats and the deep state and the global pedo-predator class has found a way to put you in, talk to Trump. I think he'll fucking find a way to get you out of it. Now, if you've done shit that, that is whack or bad or pedo or whatever, that's, you've already sealed your fate. You might as well just wait for your sentence. Because he's going to come after you. Right? He's not going to fuck around this time. You want to fuck around and find out, there it is right there. Now, I didn't say this the other day, but I wanted to go through this today, and this is kind of all together. Now, FBI DOD against raids, cyber firm, they've raided fucking a bunch of people, right? Eric Adams got raided. He's going through some shit. P. Diddy got raided. David Letterman got fucking raided. Right? I mean, all these people are going to start getting raided. But here's what I think is going to happen. And you might even see Oprah Winfrey get raided. Just saying. I'm just saying. Because a lot of these people have that coercion. They have that framing information. They have that proof of these celebrities and these people. And a lot of these celebrities are going, man, I was at a P. Diddy party up in Ashton Kutcher, and I was at fucking P. Diddy parties, and I did some fucking bad shit. And you know what I need you to do? I need you guys to go and fucking raid P. Diddy, and I need you to find all that proof, all the damaging proof on me and other celebrities, Ben Stiller, fucking even, what was that, Woody Nelson recently endorsed Kamala, the supposed black person, right? You gotta watch Candace Owens. She's really digging in deep on fucking Kamala Harris right now and her lineage. You gotta check it out. It's becoming compelling. It's becoming compelling. But all these raids and arrests by the current compromised and corrupt federal government department are to seize, confiscate any and all evidence that would be damaging to the Demoncrats. It's all being shredded and deleted now. It's called whitewashing. Whitewashing. And I think that's what's part of it. Diddy might get a little slap. He might get something, and just want to let you know there's a lot of people saying this, but P. Diddy didn't kill himself. Yeah, it's my show. You get your own show, you can eat on your show. That's what Eric Adams is about. Cuomo, I think, is going through that too. They're going to go in and they're going to grab whatever they have. They're going to find anything and everything that's damaging to the Democratic Party and the deep state, any connection. That's what they're doing. You don't believe me? Just say. You shall see, my friends. There's no one. Let's look at this one. New FBI and Department of Defense agents raid cybersecurity firm Karasoft Technology near Washington, D.C. Karasoft contracts with Social Security Administration, SEC, U.S. Treasury, and partners with Google, Oracle, CloudStrike, and Palantir. Okay. I'm right. That's what they're doing. I'm going to tell you that's what they're not going in to put anybody in, they might do something just to show that there's something that happened. There's actually a name for what that's called. It might come to me. But they're going in and just getting rid of as much information as they can because they don't think they're going to be able to beat Trump. I think they're just going to have too big of a turnout. Trump's watching everything. He's got a team of people. So when Trump has the reins and he is able to have the House and the Senate, yeah, he's going to fucking justifiably, with intent to make sure that these are investigated, not prosecuted. He's going to let the evidence speak for itself. He's not going to throw charges. You're going to see a totally different procedure here. You're not going to see charges. You're just going to see evidence or a search and seizure that's done by local or sheriffs or whatever like that. And they're going to go in and they're going to grab stuff. And it's going to start to be revealed. They will have probable cause. A lot of stuff that happened to Trump was they didn't have any cause. They just fucking did it. It happened to James O'Keefe, right? Remember that? A lot of people. Rudy Giuliani. Remember when Stop the Steal was coming around? They went after that and they got rid of all his shit and shut him up quick. But here, I mean, and I'm going to say this because, and I know I could get proven right, or if Kamala wins, and I'll be fucked. We will not have a country in 2025. I know you're thinking, what are you talking about? No, not going to happen. It'll be gone. It will basically be, in a nutshell, handed over to the unelected global pedo-predator class as they planned. We are the last stronghold. Right now, there's a giant push to get rid of assault weapons, which that hasn't even been determined yet. I mean, what is an assault weapon? By the way, this eraser marker can be an assault weapon. This pen definitely could be an assault weapon, right? You could use a lot of things as an assault weapon. A car can become an assault weapon. It doesn't have to be a projectile moving mechanism. Kind of like the things over here, right? What I'm saying is it's very simple. What I'm saying is it's very, 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 very simple. He's just going to go after it. He's just, he's going to... This time it's not going to be weaponized like it is being towards him because he put his name in a hat to run for president. They said, no, you're not a part of this group, dude. Don't do it. But he did it, and then he won. Yeah. But this all right here, these FBI rating and all this stuff, all that is they're getting rid of evidence. That's all it is. And everybody's, Eric Adams in trouble. This guy's in trouble. That guy's in... No. They're just fucking whitewashing shit. That's all they're fucking doing. Whitewashing shit. Let's see if I have anything else to fucking share with you before I get going, because I think I've made my point tonight. It's just the music these people pick on. It's like, what? No. Oh, always go here. Right. This is one right here that I want people to pay attention to. The most important paragraph of the Declaration of Independence is the first one. The most important, right? The most important. I'm going to copy this image. I got to put this up because it's huge. The most important, right? It's never brought up. Nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever says these words. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure their rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. But the first paragraph means that it's okay if we separate from them. They always talk about we hold these truths to be self-evident. It's this the part. And of nature's God entitled them a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. The way I see that is, and that's like the first thing that King George the third or eighth or something saw. That's when when that got to him. After this was written, he didn't get it till like two weeks later. And he goes, "What the fuck? They're going to separate?" That's the first thing that came to his mind. Right? They're not going to separate from us. What are you talking about? Well, they did. And that's why we have the United States of America. And then we made sure that we had freedom of speech, which is definitely and absolutely protected and defended by the Second Amendment. Because I'm telling you, if you don't have guns, you can't speak. If you don't have a way to fucking battle your own government, and I've heard it, and I've said it, and I've been there. Well, how are you going to stop an F-16? Well, you know what? A 308 can go pretty, you know, a 30-06 at fucking a 300 mag. I mean, it can go through fucking a lot of steel. All it takes is one to puncture a tank. I'm just telling you. There's a lot of things that happen in the world that they're not things. There are certain things that happen in the world that get people to not really understand why they're here. And I think you need to make sure that you have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, liberty. You have freedom of speech. You can speak. You can talk. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever. And I'm not big on Trump burning flags, the fine on burning flags. I think if you're burning a flag, that's freedom of speech. I'm sorry. I don't like it. And that may piss off a few people that watch this, but, and I love this country. But, people tried to do that in the not Soviet Union, but in Germany with the Third Reich. And those people, guess what happened to those people? Yeah. Anyway, so I was going to say something before I left. I've been blaming somebody that I was married to. Her name is Stephanie, Red Economics. I want to say, listen, I hope you're doing well. I pray to God, and I really hope that you're fine, you're good, you're happy, whatever you're doing in life, and you're going to make it. Try to get back on. You had a good voice. You had a good reason. You know, things don't work out sometimes. I get it. But I blamed her I blamed me for leaving this book at her place, and this is a really good book. I recommend anybody and everybody to read this book, to get this book, Behind the Green Mask, UN Agenda 21, which it turned into Agenda 201. But this chick kind of magically passed away recently. Yeah, this is really good. She kind of sums it up. I like this part right here of her book. It says right there. Can you read that? Let me make it bigger. Sorry. I hope that doesn't get to this, but I'm just telling you, it might. My goal is for Trump to fucking wake the fuck up. Right? There it is. I have this part right there. I like this right here. You ready? It says, the resistance is not something you join, it's what you are. You are a part of a true grassroots movement to speak out about UN Agenda 21, about the co-opted of the environmental movement by corporate interest, and about the rapidly accelerating absorption of our government into the mega corporations. You know, like BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street and Fidelity and JP Morgan, all those other players. And she kind of gives you some things to do in here, some tasks to do. But she goes over some really information. And they kind of, Santa Rosa, California, by the way, is where she was from, like San Francisco. Right? And she was such a fucking great proponent. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all this, but what I'm going to say is I recommend you get the book. If you see it, get it. Here's the author right here. Right? Rosa Curran, ASA, is a forensic commercial real estate appraiser specializing in eminent domain valuations. Her nearly 30 years of value enable her to recognize the planning revolution sweeping the nation. While fighting to stop a huge redevelopment project in her city, she researched the corporate, political, and financial interests behind it and found UN Agenda 21. Rosa speaks across the nation and is a regular blogger on her website. Here's a website. And she was a Democrat. Isn't that crazy? She was a Democrat. And then she stopped being, by the way, she stopped being a Democrat. She became an independent like me. We should all be independent. You shouldn't be partisan. You should just vote for the people that you believe can do something for you. But that's not going to change unless we do something about it. We don't have time to waste. Like I said, Trump is the way we have to go right now. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Some of you may not. I challenge so many people to come here. And nobody will. It is really weird. It's either because maybe I just don't have enough people on here or whatever the case may be, but I get mentioned by a lot of people. And there's so many that came after I started. And there's a few that started before me, but there's a lot that came after that are still late to the party. Hardlands Media is one of them. They're good kids. They're just a bunch of, I don't know. They're trying. You know, good for anybody, honestly. If you're out there and you're on social media and you're not doing the regular media crap that's out there that everybody's fucking succumb to, right? Everybody that, I mean, if you're out there just with an opinion or whatever, more power to you. I mean, I'm serious. Just fucking go. Do it. That's great. Right? Just fucking do it. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, but that's where I'm at. I'm out where this guy said. Look up Thomas. Recently, Jimmy Dore. I think he got it from me because I know he gets some of his shit from me. Right here. This one right here. Right here. Reverend Thomas Massey. A despicable corruption from the Dems. He basically says what they all do. He went after his own. Right? Anytime you see that, this guy in disguise is all, he's kind of where I'm at. He's kind of where I'm at. He's just like, it's just a show, and he says it right there. I recommend you look for that, the Jimmy Dore show. I brought it up early. It was on Forbes, and I found it, and I sent it to Jimmy Dore. I don't know if he used it for me. Who knows? Who cares? But this guy fucking just nails it. I recommend you watch him. You know, he says it's just a big fucking, it's theater. It's fucking all theater. She says it. Everybody says it. You know, this has just gotta fucking stop. It's just gotta fucking stop. I'm really tired of it. I'm just tired of the fucking government theater. Seriously, it's just fucking, it's gotta go. Anyway, I think you guys understand. Aloha, thank you.